Hey, we're World Entertainment, and we have a casting update regarding Alien Earth Season 2, filming updates, and a behind the scenes image, which is this one, but we'll come back to that. So, 3 new people have joined the cast, and Noah Hawley is now talking about going beyond the island, which, quite frankly, they have to do because they're no longer filming in Thailand, so I don't understand how much of the outside we're actually going to see in Season 2. But it's what they kind of talk about that you're kind of going, they really still don't understand the whole concept of alien and xenomorphs. We'll have a look at this, and Noah Hawley speaks about what he hopes to do with Season 2 and stuff, because, again, it just shows you his lack of understanding. So, it's saying here, cameras are now rolling on the second season of Noah Hawley's Alien Earth, and FX has released a first look via a behind-the-scenes promo image featuring Wendy, Sydney Chandler, and Hermit. Alex Lawfor, is that how you pronounce his name? I'm not 100% sure. So, 3 more cast members have also been added to the show's ensemble, with Tracy Ullman of The Tracy Ullman Show, Sam Spurrell of A Night of the 7 Kingdoms, and Jerome Flynn of Game of Thrones on board. When you hear what Noah Hawley says, it sounds like, oh, must be why you're hiring everyone from Game of Thrones. So they joined previously announced Peter Dinklage of Game of Thrones. No details on any of these new characters have been disclosed, so we don't know who exactly they're playing, what corporations they're from. Are they possibly going to play some of the parents to some of the kids or something? Don't know. So, the Season 1 final of Alien Earth, The Real Monsters, concluded with Wendy, Hermit, and the others hybrids, along with a pair of xenomorphs, Jesus, taking control of Prodigy Research Center and imprisoning Boy Cavalier, Kirsch, Dame Sylvia, Atom Ends, and Morrow. A victory, but possibly a short-lived one. Sure it is. So this is what Hawley said to Empire shortly after that episode aired, which was just like, yeah, okay. So he said, that moment of "now we rule" is such an exhilarating moment for the audience. What was it? What audience, by the way? the 5 of us who stuck around because we were making videos on it. And then the question is, well, it was exhilarating moment when Dustin Hoffman ran out of the church and they got on the bus in The Graduate. But what comes after? The Weyland-Yutani ships are coming and all they have is problems. No, what they have is 2 fucking xenomorphs to rip you a new one. Not to mention all the other crazy alien species that are still in the place. You have the eyeball Teocellus now in the dead dude's body. Can't even remember that character's name. You have the big ball sack thing hanging down. You still have the metal eating fly things. What was the other ones? I'm pretty sure there was the tick yolks. I can't even remember what happened to those yolks. So this is where it gets a lot of what Hawley says. So brace yourselves for all of this, but it also shows you really how he doesn't understand the actual universe of Alien in terms of the problems he's introduced by having xenomorphs on Earth. So in addition to focusing on the immediate aftermath of the hybrid coup, Hawley hopes to be able to move beyond the island and explore more of the corporate-ruled planet. The show is called Alien Earth after all. So he said this: I'm interested in exploring the corporate politics of it. As we've seen, there's an irresistible gravitational pull towards monopoly that corporations and billionaires have. It just sounds like he's talking about real world stuff. He wants to make it an allegory for Trump and crap. So there's a bit of Game of Thrones to the corporate world that feels interesting to me. Must be why you're hiring everyone from Game of Thrones. I do think this story is of these children's autonomy continues to be the heart of the show, but Alien is always about levels of containment. The island is a level of containment, and what happens when you expand past that level? Ultimately, the show is called Alien Earth. I know that. Given the canon, I can't blow up the Earth, but I do think that containment is going to be very hard to maintain. So just before we go on, this is already where he's showing he doesn't understand Alien and how xenomorphs operate. We already know that from the first season that he has them running around now as pets. When he was saying, we don't want the xenomorphs to be pets, and it's like, you've literally made them pets. They're like 1 billion dogs now to Wendy. Going beyond containment means you'd have the xenomorphs out in the world. Them already being on Earth is a massive problem because they cannot be contained. That is one of the biggest threats that all the Alien movies truly showed you, is you cannot let a single one of these things get to Earth because the damage they could do is unreal. And what a lot of people don't understand is, well, where does an alien queen come from? A lot of the actual xenomorph drones basically can transform into a queen. That's the makeup of their body. If they are in a situation where they are pretty much down to being the last, they can genetically modify themselves and become a hybrid queen to plant eggs. And a lot of questions about Big Chap in the first original film was that what was happening? What is that why it was hiding and stuff? Was it actually becoming the queen? They have said that it was actually dying. Why it was dying, we don't know. It does sound better to say it was possibly turning into a queen, but that is canon that they can transform into queens. So the idea of just having one of these things on Earth is like, no, Hawley already now has 2 of them running around on Earth, and again, that's not mentioning all the other species they have. So that's really where he doesn't understand the idea of you can't expand with the alien, the xenomorphs on Earth, because once you get to Ripley then, because he's saying in canon, so clearly they're attached to the movies, which also makes no sense because, number one, nobody should know of the xenomorphs at this stage, all this type of stuff. But more so, he thought, which was just idiotic, that he was set 2 years before Aliens. So he thought this was after Alien. And then they gave out the dates and people went, that's like 20 something years before Alien. What are you talking about? So he continues anyway. Because it's a story about humanity trapped between nature that's trying to kill us and the technology we've created that also seems to be trying to kill us. That feels a lot like the world that I live in. So I feel like there's a lot there to really grapple with. If he's talking about the xenomorphs get wiped out, but then the rest of the story will continue with like the androids and stuff, it's like, that doesn't sound great. And he just goes on and on and on and talks about the first movie. But then of course we get our first image from the filming. So it's a nothing image, like it's a nothing burger. It's Wendy and Hermit in I'm assuming this is a location on the island. Have they got off the island or not yet? Don't know. This looks like the doors to the lab from the first season, so it looks like maybe something's happening here. Like, why is the glass all frosted? Don't know. It's interesting to see the way they've done the lighting, that they've put this weird big rig on the ground to kind of do backlighting. And there's another one over here. So that's weird. Look, the show sucked. It sucked, and the lack of understanding of the world of Alien. And don't forget it as well, like I've always said it and I'll continue to say it, about how I start getting distracted by the Willy Wonka thing playing down there at the corner. I've lost my train of thought now. Brain fart. It's good God. The xenomorphs and stuff. What the fuck was I talking about? I've literally lost my train of thought because I looked at that Willy Wonka. Fantastic. Either way, it was something about Alien Earth sucking, and how Noah Hawley just didn't understand the threat that xenomorphs are. That's what it was. That Freddy Alvarez wanted to speak with him to know where Alien Earth took place, because he was obviously doing Alien Romulus, and he didn't want to kind of step on his toes and hoped he wouldn't step on his, and he ignored him. He refused to speak with anyone, which was like, what are you doing, dude? And now you just see the show come out and just his total lack of understanding. But there you go, folks. They're officially filming season 2. By the way, they're filming in the UK because they moved from Thailand to the UK, which would have run the cost up something terrible, because they let the lease lapse and didn't re-up the lease in Thailand for some stupid reason. So now they run the cost up by moving the production to the UK. And yeah, it's gonna be another disaster, isn't it? But I'll review it when it comes out, which probably won't be till some stage next year, but God help us all. But what do you guys think of the new cast? The 3 new members that's joining Peter Dinklage in this shit show, basically. And what do you think about Noah Hawley's comments about moving beyond containment of the island and exploring the world, especially seeing as he's talking about the corporate end of things? Let us know. And with that, I shall leave it there for this one. So do like and share and subscribe and hit that hype button and all that good stuff. Cheers, and I'll catch you all in the next one.